My next guest has music flowing through his veins. He began playing the harmonica at the age of 6 and made his first public performance at 8. Later, he learned the guitar and the banjo before moving to the United Kingdom. Well, born in Sierra Leone's capital, Freetown, he is widely regarded as one of the original stars of afrobeat, and I'm delighted to say that he joins me now in the studio. Very warm welcome to this Day Live guest, Bunny Mack. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm okay, thanks.
I think that you are the first original showbiz veteran I've met in my career. I've never met somebody who started performing from the age of 8. Well, 6 effectively, but then it's just one long unstoppable story after that. 6,
I started playing an instrument. 8, I went on stage for the very first time.
So what led to that? Did you just want to do it?
It was a variety show that was done in the town hall in Freetown. And they wanted people to introduce little kids or, you know, anybody who can do something. And I was introduced by my uncle. And I went up there and played my harmonica, and everybody was pleased.
Did you win?
Well, it wasn't a competition. It was just a variety show. And I got quite a lot of money. Like people looked at this little boy and gave him money.
Well, he was obviously a very talented little boy.
Well, I hope so.
But I mean, the thing is, it must have taken tremendous confidence to do that, and clearly the confidence hasn't left you because you've done so many things since that time.
I've always been a very forward person. I always had confidence. I never doubt myself. I believe in myself. And so it doesn't matter what age I was at the time or what age I am now, I still feel I can do it.
Yeah. Yes. And I mean, in terms of your music, because you are seen as a sort of tremendous force in Afrobeats, etc., but I mean, what were the forces that shaped your style?
Well, actually, what I'm doing now is not my style in actual fact, because when I came to England, I was playing all pop music. I'm a guitarist as well, as you said earlier. I'm a guitarist. I played things like Shadow's music, Cliff Richard, all these things I played. But then when I met up with a producer who unfortunately is deceased, he wanted me to do songs that had the Afro flavor in it. And I wrote one, which luckily for me became a big hit. I'm sure you know it and you've heard it. It's My Sweetie, Let Me Love You.
I have heard it.
Yes. And I wrote that one and it went worldwide. It was a hit worldwide.
So were you really surprised by that, or when you were actually recording this song, did you sense that it had a certain something about it that was going to make it commercially viable?
Yes, personally I sensed it, yeah, but one of the guys who did an instrument on the record, the bass player, his name is Jimmy Haynes, he said to me, Bunny, let this record be heard. So I said, okay, everybody's record is heard on Capital Radio at the time. So I went to Capital Radio. In fact, I didn't go to the station. I went to the Empire Ballroom where they were having the best disco in town, hosted by Greg Edwards and Adrian Sachs.
I remember Greg Edwards very well.
Yes, Greg Edwards, Adrian Love, and John Sachs. Yep. And I gave them some copies. And that was on a Friday. On Saturday morning, they started playing my record. Yeah. And the rest is history.
Yeah, it just carried on from there. But I mean, it's one of those songs which it burns itself in the brain. So you hear it, and even if you forget about it so many years down the line and somebody plays it, it just evokes memories of all sorts of things. You can pinpoint your movements of that time.
Yes, yes, it's good. It's good. I like the way it's gone. Unfortunately, it's sort of keeping down all the good tracks that I've got.
Yes, I was going to say that when you have a tune which becomes your signature.
A classic, yes.
Yeah, an absolute classic. It must be so difficult when you produce material that's better than that, but people are always judging you against the big definitive hit.
I mean, I've met a lot of people who said, you'll never make a record like that again. But I'm sure I have done. But it doesn't get the airing that that one did. Because at that time it was brand new to the world. And it just came out and everybody was listening to it all over the place. And it went from country to country, and we were getting calls from all over the world to say, come and sign with us, come and do this, we want to market it. We did market the record in a few countries, such as Nigeria, Kenya, Zambia, and all these places, South Africa, Zimbabwe, and of course Sierra Leone and Ghana, and other countries nearby. But the other records that I've done, some of them are better than that. It took me only 10 minutes to write Let Me Love You.
So it took you 10 minutes to write that song. You've produced so much more material since then.
Since then, yes.
And you're still judged by the one record.
Exactly.
On the one hand, it's flattering to have all the attention, but it must also be quite dispiriting and frustrating as an artist that...
Knowing that I've got better...
Exactly. It's that kind of tunnel vision that people have.
It is, yes.
I mean, how do you conquer that? Because, I mean, you're still here, you're still performing.
Well, I just keep going. One day they'll recognize the fact that I've got some other stuff. I'm not Let Me Love You, I'm a musician, not Let Me Love You.
But, I mean, you're also performing at prestigious events. I mean, you've got the London's Jazz Cafe, so that's on November the 12th, is that correct?
No, November the 10th.
But November the 10th, I beg your pardon. So it's only in a few days' time.
Yes.
So certainly, how do events like that, or performing at such prestigious venues, really help to make that statement, look, don't judge me by the one song. I've got a repertoire of material here. We're here together, you, me, the audience, we're here for however many hours. Judge me on what else flows.
Well, you know, they recognize that song more than all the others, but I tell you something, they know some of the others too. I've got tracks like I Really Love You, which is a love song, a reggae song. I've got a track called Angel in Disguise, which I won't be performing at the Jazz Cafe. I've got other sort of afrobeat stuff, which are equally as good. But, you know, I'm a musician. I just keep going. I just keep going. I enjoy what I do, and I hope people enjoy seeing me or hearing me doing it.
I mean, there's a lot of interest now about Afrobeat music, the whole rhythm, all the performers who've come out of that genre. Do you find that that's helped you as well, that particularly to a younger generation, it's triggered that curiosity, that they're delving back into the catalogues and they're coming across you? They're saying, hey, who's this Bunny Mack? Let's listen to this guy.
Not only listening, they're covering it. They're covering my record.
And that's flattering in itself,
over 30 times already. And in fact, one guy actually recently asked me to join him in a video that he was shooting to promote his version of Let Me Love You. Of course, they didn't sing it like the way I did.
So what did you think of his version?
This is half sing, half rap.
They put it into a rap version?
Yes, and it's been done about 5-10 times, you know, in rap versions. The guy that started is a guy called Wale, who lives in Washington, D.C. He did it, and his manager phoned me and said, what can we do about this and what? And I said, talk to the Performing Rights Society and the MCPS.
Just let them get on with it.
Yes, they will deal with you, and they'll tell you what money you have to give me and all the rest of it. I just sit back and wait.
But I mean, look, you've lived in Britain really since the 1960s.
Yep.
You've had all these phenomenal influences that you've brought with you. You don't really have a style as such. You experiment. You are a musician. That's part of what it's all about. But I mean, when you look at the music scene now, compared to how it was when you first arrived here, I mean, what would you say are the big differences? I mean, if you had your time again, would you do things any differently?
No.
Still the same?
Just play music. A musician is a musician is a musician. I just go there and play music. And you see, the thing is, music is experimenting. You sit somewhere, like I say, I take my guitar and start fiddling with it, and something comes to mind. I take it down, and if I'm in the recording studio, it's recorded. And I listen back. You see, it's like cooking a sauce. You just put the ingredients, keep putting it until it tastes good.
Yeah, you've got the basic recipe, but you improvise.
That's it. That's it. So I don't specifically go out and say, I'm going to write this type of thing for that type of... No. You'll never... I will never get there. Because I'm too particular... I'll be too particular about what I want, which does not necessarily gel with the audience that I'm trying to attract.
The main thing is that there are plenty more songs inside you, and we're going to hear them over the years.
There are millions more songs in my head.
Excellent, excellent. Well, get them down on paper and start recording. Bunny Mack, an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for joining us on This Day Live.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Thanks.